How's it going, everybody? Wayne here. So quick announcement, I'm supposed to be headed back to the States soon, and it's going to be so awesome to see N64 games out in the wild versus just seeing them on eBay. So it's going to be really awesome to hunt out there and actually find good deals out in the wild rather than just paying full price online. So I'm really excited about that. With the show, I'm going to try to get a couple episodes made before I leave. I have plenty of games I can do that with. It's just I'm on a time crunch. So hopefully I can get a couple videos made so I can still post while I'm in the States. But today we have a lot of 9 games that we'll be adding to the collection, and there's only one duplicate. Let's check them out. The first game up is a game I really don't hear much about, but it's a pretty interesting game, and that game is Tonic Trouble. Tonic Trouble was developed and published by Ubisoft, releasing for the N64 in 1999. Tonic Trouble is a platforming game. You're Agent Ed and you spill an ooze from space, making Earth's vegetables start to grow large and evil, and you must go and stop it. In the first mission, you'll rescue the doc that will help you on your quest. After you rescue him, you will go collect items for him to get different things to help you advance in the game. The graphics are pretty bad and the music lacks any excitement. The camera controls can be trouble a lot of times as well. Despite those things, the game is actually pretty fun. It's fun solving the puzzles and collecting items to give you new abilities. There are a lot of bad reviews of this game out there. One of the complaints is not knowing where to go and having to run around going through portals. The portals have an excessive animation to them that takes a long time. And if you select the wrong portal, you have to go back out. However, there is a map right there on the pause screen that people seem to overlook. The game does have its faults, but it's good and interesting enough that I'll come back and do a playthrough of it. Tonic Trouble is game number 145 for the complete in-box N64 library. Next up, we have Cyber Tiger. Cyber Tiger was developed and published by Electronic Arts. It released for the N64 in 2000. Cyber Tiger is a golf game featuring Tiger Woods. For a golf game on the N64, it's not bad. The graphics are better than some of the other golf games on the N64, but they're not the best. The game is a mix between a real golf simulator and a wacky golf game. You can do things like turn your golf ball into a mini rocket during a drive. The thing I like most about the game is the controls. I was easily able to figure them all out without even looking at the manual. You use the stick to pull back and hit the ball. The system works well. Another nice feature is being able to put a spin on the ball in midair. Overall, Cyber Tiger is a decent golf game for the N64. It's no Mario Golf, but it's a better golf game than most of the others. Cyber Tiger is game number 146 for the collection. Next up we have a racing game, OffRoad Challenge. OffRoad Challenge was developed by Avalanche and published by Midway, releasing for the N64 in 1998. OffRoad Challenge is an off-road racing game for the N64. The challenge in OffRoad Challenge is seeing what's going on in the race with the incredibly bad graphics. The game is pure chaos. Jets are shooting down UFOs, rocks are falling, and there's garbage all over the tracks, but you can't even make out what it is. The controls are pretty good. The vehicles do handle well. The music also fits the gameplay pretty well. Another cool thing in the game is earning money to upgrade your truck. This is a game that could have been really good, however, the graphics ruined it. OffRoad Challenge is game number 147 for the complete in-box N64 library. Next up we have another pretty interesting game that you don't hear much about, and that game is War Gods. War Gods was developed and published by Midway, releasing for the N64 in 1997. War Gods is a fighting game for the N64. It's a pretty interesting one too. The controls are a lot like Mortal Kombat. They respond well. The graphics are good overall, and the music is good as well. Each character has their own special abilities, which are all pretty cool. You also have the ability to roll out of the way to dodge the enemy's projectiles. The computer seems to overuse some of the items during the matches, making the game frustrating at times. If you're a fan of fighting games, War God is not a bad game. It's also cheap and easy to find. War Gods is game number 148 for the collection, and that puts us halfway to 296 games. That's cray-cray. Next up we have a baseball game, Mike Piazza Strike Zone. Mike Piazza's Strike Zone was developed by Devil's Thumb Entertainment and published by GT Interactive. It released for the N64 in 1998. Strike Zone is a baseball game for the N64. It's also another game plagued with bad graphics. The players have no faces, and it's the worst looking baseball game I've seen so far. On a positive note, hitting the balls are much easier than some of the other games. There isn't a difficult box to line up while batting. You just have to hit the button at the right time. It's almost too easy. The outfield is pretty enjoyable to play as well. The sound in the game is way off. The crowd will boo as you come in for a score, but cheer when your next batter comes up. Like, whose side are you on? Overall, if you want to play a baseball game for the N64, there are much better games we've already covered. Mike Piazza's Strike Zone is game number 149 for the Complete Box library. Next up we have a game that I already had sealed, and the game actually came with this lot, and that game is WCW Backstage Assault. Backstage Assault was developed by Kodiak Interactive and published by Electronic Arts. It was available for purchase in October of 2000. Backstage Assault is a wrestling game for the N64. This wrestling game is quite a bit different than the other ones we've covered. Instead of a ring, Backstage Assault takes place in places like parking lots and locker rooms. This game also has many weapons laying around to use. It's pretty fun picking up a chair and smashing an opponent's head. The graphics are sharp and look good. However, the characters look kinda odd. The controls are solid and easy to learn. The announcers are actually good in the game and don't keep saying the same lines over and over again. The only real complaint I have about the game is the camera angles. You'll find yourself blind being hidden behind the opponent. Overall, Backstage Assault is fun and a unique wrestling game for the N64. It's worth checking out if you're a fan of wrestling games. WCW Backstage Assault is game number 150 for the Complete in Box N64 library. Next up we have Virtual Pool. Virtual Pool was developed by Solaris and published by Crave Entertainment. It released for the N64 in 1998. Virtual Pool offers many ways to play the game. You can play a standard game of pool or any other game you want. The graphics look great, although the balls are a little fuzzy. The physics and controls are good, so there's no problem there. If you're a fan of pool, this game has all the basics covered. It's a little cheesy that they put different names of players you can challenge when there isn't the sight of people anywhere. The music also sounds like a 90s soap opera. The game gets boring quickly, even though I can play a real pool game all night. The game would probably be more fun if you played with a friend rather than the computer. Virtual Pool is game number 151 for the Complete in Box N64 library. Next up we have another racing game, Indy Racing 2000. Indy Racing 2000 was developed by Paradigm Entertainment and published by Infogrames. It zipped to store shelves in 2000. Indy Racing is not an indie racing simulator. The first thing I'll start off with are how sensitive the controls are. Just watch how my first race started off.
It's a clean start. He hit hard.
Once you get the hang of the controls, the game is still chaos. Some cars on the track seem like they're taking a Sunday drive, and they basically are just obstacles. The graphics are really foggy, making cars appear out of nowhere, causing you to crash into them. Finally, the tracks are basically all NASCAR style tracks, where they're all big ovals. All of them. Indy racetracks are supposed to have a lot of tight corners and curves. I'd say if you want to experience a NASCAR game with Indy cars, this is the game to play. Despite all the bad, it was interesting to experience the speed and power after getting used to the controls. Indy Racing is game number 152 for the Complete in Box library. The last one in the lot was a duplicate, and that was GT64. This lot of 9 games cost me $83 shipped. And at $83 shipped, that brings our total up to $8,000. But I did sell some duplicates for $147, bringing our total down to $8,078 for the Complete in Box N64 library. Let's get these games on the shelf. If If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to subscribe. I'll be collecting the entire N64 library, complete in box, right here on the show. Also, make sure to leave a thumbs up for us being halfway there. Until next time, I'm Wayne, and thanks for watching.